What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the brother Robert Mason coming through with another donation to the channel via the PayPal. Salute to you for showing love, long time supporter of this channel, lover of old school sports, lover of UCLA. Salute to you, brother, for showing love. So, last night, the Golden State Warriors came to Milwaukee. And I got to be honest with you, I was very disappointed that Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't play. I get that he has knee soreness, and I understand that the Milwaukee Bucks doctors, may be trigger happy because, some of them were criticized for, allowing Dame to come back too early. Dame, of course, suffered the Achilles rupture. So I guess, look, man, I get it. I've done a little bit of study with this, and I know the doctors have a lot of pressure on them. If a player comes back and he exacerbates an injury, it'll be on them, and they can be ostracized from being within the NBA circles. I get that. I try to understand that, but I'll be more understanding of that if it was later in the season. The season just started. I mean, I get it. Injuries happen. I just thought at least Giannis should have tried to gut it out. You know what I'm saying? He should at least try. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan just talked about this. I don't know. I just grew up watching basketball where, depending upon what time of the year it was, depending upon who the opponent was. If it was a marquee team, they did everything they could to come out there and play. But whatever. They weren't with Giannis, who to me is having an MVP level season, even though the mainstream media is not pushing or promoting it. So essentially it was role players versus a team, the Golden State Warriors, although older, obviously, has championship pedigree. So you have Steph Curry, 4-time NBA champion. You have Draymond Green, the fake Hall of Famer, 4 NBA championships. You have a lot of playoff experience over there, with guys like, Al Horford, obviously. Kuminga has some experience now against essentially role players. And the role players won. The role players won the 120 to 110. And, at the end of the day, I think Doc Rivers deserves a lot more credit than what he's getting. Because if you listen to the mainstream media, and if you listen especially to deranged fans out there, Doc Rivers is overrated. Doc Rivers is not a top 15 all-time coach or top 10 all-time coach. Somehow all those victories that Doc Rivers has don't count, right? Don't count. Now, has Doc Rivers faltered in the playoffs? Yes. He's had some moments where, his team has faltered a lot. But he's also coached some guys who, unfortunately, are choke artists. He's coached Joel Embiid. He's coached Ben Simmons. He's coached Kawhi Leonard, although Kawhi, when healthy, can do something, but when he's not, we know he's apt to quit. He's coached Paul George. He's coached James Harden, haven't said him yet. All those guys have something in common, and they're choke artists, especially in the postseason. You know what I'm saying? Doc not the one that shot that air ball inside the backboard. Do I think Doc's the greatest coach ever? No. But he's one of the best. right? Meanwhile, you got that coach right now in Atlanta who's just allowed to suck. They suck. And I never hear anybody scream for this guy to get fired. Never. Nobody ever screams for that bum down in Atlanta to get fired. And he should have been fired last year. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to Ryan Rollins, a career high 32 points, coming off a career high previously with the Knicks, that big victory with 25 points. This time he ups it with 32 points. I agree with the brother 78. I think that he will eventually be an all-star. He shot 13 of 21 from the floor, 5 of 7 from downtown. Miles Turner had 17 points, also from Milwaukee Bucks. And they got complimentary scoring from other players as well. For the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry had 27 points, but only shot 8 of 19 from the line. His streak of 57 consecutive free throws ended in this contest. Jonathan Kuminga had 24 points. Jimmy Butler had 23 points and 11 rebounds. The Bucks, largely because of their speed and transition, shot 48% from the floor to Golden State's 42%. The Bucks shot 41% from downtown, including 19 made three-pointers. Golden State only shot 34% from downtown. And the Bucks bench outscored the Golden State Warriors bench 38-29. And, this is a big victory for the big victory for the Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can't help but think that if Giannis was playing, they would have blown this team out. They would have beaten them by 20, 25 points if Giannis was playing in this contest. And this was, I guess, one of those litmus test type games where you kind of feel like where you are, and Milwaukee is overperforming, and yet that will not be one of the stories. It's not going to be one of the narratives that the mainstream media is going to push. They're not going to push that. They're going to keep pushing these fake-ass Giannis to New York trade rumors because they're not doing their jobs, bro. They don't really want to talk. They don't want to give Milwaukee any credit because they're punishing Giannis because Giannis won't do as he's told, which is leave Milwaukee. So since he won't leave Milwaukee, they're going to punish him by not giving him his props, trying to minimize the accolades he gets. Don't get me wrong, Victor Wembanyama is playing remarkable ball, but Giannis is still here, ladies and gentlemen. Giannis is still Giannis. And they're not giving him any credit. And I think what we should all do is every time the Bucks win, matter of fact, I know I'm going to do it. I know 78 going to do it. I know Ticket going to do it. Every time the Bucks win and Giannis has a magnificent performance, I'm going to do a video about it. And I'm going to keep talking about how the mainstream media don't give this guy or the Bucks any respect. So the Bucks are now what? 4-1? 4-1. Last year at this time, I think the Bucks were struggling like 1-5 or 1-4 or something like that. I know they were struggling, right? And we were saying the problem largely was Dame Lillard and Brook Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Brook is a great player, man. Really, a really good player. He adapted to the changes in the league. Brook couldn't shoot a lick when he first came into the league. I'm talking about from outside. Then he developed into a 35% three-point shooter. 35, 36% three-point shooter, right? So the people who say that these players in the past couldn't adjust, come on, man. Brook Lopez couldn't shoot from outside of 16 feet when he first came into the league. Now all of a sudden he's a good outside shooting big man. And he made that adjustment in 3 or 4 years. Really, 2 to 3 years. Come on, man. You don't think Bill Laimbeer would be a marksman today? But anyway, Salute to the Milwaukee Bucks. Tell me what you guys think.